We are indeed back, and we have arrived, and yep, everyone ready. There's no builders going to make any noise around here. No Jehovah's Witnesses coming, that's good. No Mormons coming, that's good. No salesmen coming, that's even better. Oh god, remind manners. Introductions, I'm Buff Been Stuffed. We're going to talk about MMA, and pretty interesting couple of things happening. Obviously we had the Chael Sonnen and Wanderlei Silva stuff going on, but that's in a video from last week. But what I really want to talk about is a topic that I know quite a few of us are going to talk about. I know that Caesar the Ape God, wherever you are, I know for a fact you're going to comment on this, and you better comment on this. I know that Ashes for Real has a strong opinion on this, because we've spoken about this a few times in the comments section, and I know a lot of other people, MMA fans who are subbed to my channel, and the fans of MMA in general, subbed to my channel, my loyal and loving subscribers. So let's talk about this. I was just reading that Jon Jones, he's been talking about who he wants to fight next, and obviously the UFC are adamant, absolutely adamant, that they want to do not Daniel Cormier, Jon Jones and Alexander Gustafsson #2, and I don't blame them. The first fight was great. The first fight was absolutely surprising, and just to recap on what I thought in that fight, I think that the fact that Gustafsson did so well is what made people think he won the fight. Now, I don't know. Some people say he won, some people thought Jon won, some people thought it was close. One guy at the gym yesterday said he would have scored that fight a draw. But the fact is, it's the first time in Jon Jones' career where we have seen this unstoppable champion look vulnerable, where he was taken down, where he was beaten up, and he actually did have to dig deep and kind of fight back and get the fight back into his favour, and that was very impressive in, you know, seeing that quality in him in Jon Jones, because you get a lot of fighters who are dominant, you know, just completely outclassing fighters or just destroying guys, knocking them out, taking them down, subbing them, just making them look absolutely useless. Then they have one fight where the guy just clocks them on the chin, or stops their takedown, or outpowers them in the clinch, or, you know, reverses them, and then they just fold and break, and then they're not the same fighter. We have seen that, and with Jon Jones, it was nice to see that he didn't go that way. So people who want to say that Jon isn't mentally strong enough, I would say there's evidence to suggest that he is. And I will tell you, after that fight happened, I know I wasn't alone in all of this. I know so many fans wanted to see Jones and Gustafsson #2 right away. Like, do that fucking fight as soon as possible. Super Bowl weekend, do the fight. Jon Jones, Gustafsson, come on, do Jon Jones, Gustafsson #2. And lots of people wanted to see that fight. And then things went in a different direction, where Gustafsson was given a fight against, I can't even remember the guy's name, on UFC Fight Pass, which, you know, interesting, but like, after you've had a fight like that, are you sure you don't want to put him on a bigger show, pay-per-view show, a UFC on Fox show, considering the momentum he's got to capitalize on that and make him an even bigger star? I thought that they should have done that, but anyways, I don't run the company, and obviously, you know, there's a reason why. So then they did Jon Jones versus Teixeira, and Jon outclassed him and beat him and looked excellent in that fight, absolutely amazing in that fight. And now Jon has a very interesting problem. It's not that he's run out of opponents to face, it's that there's two opponents, and now there's this debate, because Jon Jones doesn't want to do the Gustafsson fight according to what you're supposed to believe on the internet. Jon Jones is saying he wants to fight Daniel Cormier. He doesn't want to fight Gustafsson. He's done the fight, he's won the fight. Yeah, let me fight someone new, let me fight let me fight Cormier. And now there's this debate. So I want to hear from people online, and I'll tell you what I think personally. I think this is very, very interesting, because I want to see Gustafsson and Jones have that rematch. I want to see that get settled while, you know, everything is in place. And I've heard that Gustafsson signed the contract. I think that that's a fight. I would like to see that, because I don't think that that thing is actually, that story isn't over yet, and I think a second fight would really, you know, I think they're going to be like the Junior Dos Santos and Cain Velasquez of 205 in a lot of ways, and I think that I would like to see that second fight happen, do it, get that fight out of the way. But then I understand there's a risk here, because there are a lot of people who want to see Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones. How do I know this? Because I did a video as requested by Ashes for Real, which was a very successful video. If you haven't seen it, I will put it down in the description box. You can have a look and you can view that, and it got a lot of traffic and a lot of comments. People really want to see Cormier and Jon Jones. This is a very, very fresh opponent for Jon, and that's the other argument. Cormier is a fresh opponent. They've never fought before, and there's apparently some kind of rivalry or war of words or beef there, which makes the fight even more promotable. And the fact that, you know, Daniel Cormier, there's so many interesting factors here. Cormier is an Olympic level wrestler, well, I mean a high level wrestler, with lots of credentials as a wrestler, and a lot of people believe he's the guy that will take Jon Jones down. Granted, Gustafsson did that too. A lot of people think that Cormier has just got something in his style that's going to cause Jon problems, and I think that that is a very, very, very big fight. And to me, when the iron is hot and there's that big fight on the horizon, you need to strike as soon as possible. I think that they should have striked on so many fights when they were ready to happen. It's unfortunately we never got Wanderlei Silva and Chuck Liddell when both fighters are at the top of their game. Unfortunately, it happened later. But to me, this is one of those kind of fights that I think you need to do it as soon as possible. But the thing is, you have two big fights. You have Gustafsson too, and there's a lot of people that want to see Gustafsson, him in the mix with Jon Jones. And I'm kind of like scratching my head here because I don't know what one I want to see more. Personally, no. You know what? Gun to the head or to the chin. If you ask me the fight that I want to see, I would flip for it, but I can't, you know, because that's the chicken shit way out. I would like to see Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones. But then again, on the other hand, it's so hard because like both of them earn their title shots. You can't say that one hasn't earned it more than the other. But I think, you know what, do Jones and... See what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing Gustafsson and Cormier. I mean, Gustafsson... Do you know what would have been the easy problem? Quite simple. Gustafsson and Cormier, that would have solved everything. Because then the winner could have fought for the title. And then the loser, it doesn't really hurt. Because if they, you know, bounce back, they can just fight for the title anyways, you know, after a few wins. But it's a shame they never did that. But then again, I understand. Title eliminator, you know, they want two contenders. And that's what, you know, they want to have big fights this year. I'll tell you what. I think Duke Gustafsson... number 2, because I think he's earned it. I'd say either have Cormier do one more fight, but then you have the risk of him losing. But I think he should have one more fight, and a big fight at that, on one of the big shows. And then after that fight, if he wins, have him fight Jon Jones if he wins. But then, you know what, you could create a problem where Cormier loses and then that fight's out of the picture, and then Gustafsson, you know, all kind of things. You never know with MMA. You never know. I mean, who would have thought last year that Anderson Silva would have been knocked out and then break his leg? You just don't know with these things. But I want to know what people think out there. Who deserves the next shot? Would you give the shot, if you were Dana White, to Gustafsson, or would you give the shot to Cormier? And I want to know why you would choose one over the other. And guys, let me know what you think. I really love hearing from you lot. Comment below. If you haven't before, hit that subscribe button. I do MMA, pro wrestling. I'll probably do something on the X-Men tomorrow morning. I'll probably do more MMA stuff. But let me know what you think of this situation. Who deserves it more, Cormier or Gustafsson? Comment, bye, and... oh shit, my mum's coming, so I better wrap it up. Take care.